This podcast contains strong language and adult themes from the outset. Strap yourselves in, baby. But I'm all right at the moment. I had a quite good day. Have you had a good day?
I've had a good day, but it's just been like, just like non-stop.
I got stuck behind a moped today. I swear to God. I was just doing like 20 miles an hour. I just like, get the fuck out of my way. If you don't know how to ride a bike, fuck off.
Yeah, I had to check myself though because coming down, be more down, weren't it, heading back towards the gym.
Right.
And there was a learner, and she was wanting to tell.
I know, but some of them, they're scary, aren't they?
And you think, okay, you were a learner once, you were learning the other week sailing, and you probably were pissing everybody else off. But
I know, but some of them.
She was like, it was like fucking kangaroo jumps, and I'm thinking, okay, you're going for no indication, and it's a proper like official one, so it's not like someone's just taking the fucking mate out for a lesson.
Am I driving it? Go on.
And they were just like, okay, are you turning right? Are you turning left? What was happening? Are you going forward? Eventually, indicated to turn right. Okay, great. Now you got to go across the traffic. Now she's panicking because she stalled it about 3 times.
I remember when I was learning to drive, the driving instructor. My mum was the driving instructor, and like she tried me and her in a car. She's trying to teach me to drive, but it's fucking pointless. I was just raging at each other. It was awful. But yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. So then I got a driving instructor, and like he would say, right, what we're going to do is we're going to take the next left, and I go, right, okay, and I take the next, like indicating, take the next left. He said, right, we're going to go around, we're going to do that again, and we're going to make sure that all 4 wheels are on the road when we take the corner, Janine.
Get ready.
Wait, leave nothing out.
If you want help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Don't threaten me. You don't scare me.
Fun and excitement.
And when your head is down,
Leave nothing out.
Right, so I think we could do a couple of episodes on this, right? Because I have done no prep for it.
Just James having a coffee. Well, so I was driving along today, and someone said to me the other day, what's your next one on? I was like, well, Janine wants to do it on recreational drug use. And they looked at me and I went, I'm fucking boring, I've done like 2 things.
But it's not about that, right?
No, I know. And then I got thinking about it as I was driving and thought, well, when I was doing my mental health science module for my masters, they talk about obviously hallucinogens, using that for like mental health, and
That
loads of
massive
stuff. Yeah.
now. I was just talking to a guy, and he says that he takes microdose of magic mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Microdoses, and he suffers with ADHD, and he said that it helps him to just feel focused and then just sharp. So I think there's a lot of stigma around drug use. I think nobody talks about the pharmaceutical companies that actually advocate taking the drugs that they dish out by the doctors, and ultimately the doctors are prescribing these fucking drugs and people are taking them because the doctors are giving it to them, you know. And I think the 90s for me, that I've had some of the best nights of my life. Some of the best nights of my life where I've been absolutely off my tits on ecstasy. But a great time.
Yeah, you talk.
So I think that we could probably do a couple of episodes on this. But you know, what is your opinion? What do you think about it?
I'm not bothered. If people want to do it, they want to do it. I've never done like hard drugs. I've only ever done like
that terrifies me a little bit.
I've only ever done like magic mushrooms, truffles, and weed.
When I was in that community of people in my late teens and my early 20s, I was surrounded by people that were smoking crack and doing heroin and stuff like that, and that side of things terrified me.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm not interested in that.
Have you watched Trainspotting?
No, I mean I had, but it wasn't the reason for that. But no, for me, like I realise now that my weekends were my escapism. I wasn't in a place to be able to deal with the trauma from my upbringing, so I think I was self-medicating a lot of the time. But it made me feel free. it made me, just for that moment of time, you find some peace in the stuff that's going on in your brain, until you've got a platform and an emotional stability and strength about yourself to deal with the trauma, you know, and talk about it and start to compartmentalize it. It can actually aid you.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right.
I mean,
you know?
I mean, people. So this is going back to when I worked with the army, and the lads came back from like Herrick. I can't remember which one it was, and they have like decompression. So they come back from Herrick, they go to Cyprus, and they have a bit of decompression, to drink, whatever. Obviously, they don't do drugs, but they're kind of. I don't know how much that's kind of changed, but there was always kind of a advocate of, you know, have a drink, let yourself kind of chill out, and then when they came back to camp, they had what they call like not lockdown, but not a lock-in as we know with it in the pubs or whatever, but they wouldn't allow them outside of camp, and they wanted to kind of contain them for a bit to make sure they were kind of a bit more chilled out before they went out into society, because they've just been in a war zone. But they would like basically organise piss-ups, and they'd have like drink and like basically get rid of all this pent-up frustration with alcohol. Yeah. And that's allowed. And that's kind of like, oh, you know, it's all right.
All right, so I've talked about this before. Okay, so let's talk about alcohol, because alcohol is a drug, right? And it's socially acceptable. There's lots of people that drink every night of the week. For me, I can take it or leave it. I've had this year. I went out in January. I went to Chase and Status concert, and I had a drink. That was January.
You said about that on the
last I've not drank since then. I'm not saying that I'm never going to do it, but I certainly don't need to drink every night of the week. And when I've dealt with clients that are drinking every night of the week, and I've suggested that maybe if they want to see a change in the way that they look, that they curb the alcohol.
And the way that they perform as well.
And the way they perform, is curb the alcohol, at least for 6 weeks. Oh no, I don't want to do that. What do you mean you don't want to do that? I don't want to do that. Okay, so you don't want to, or you can't? Because if you can't, then you are a functioning alcoholic. I'm sorry. And anybody listening to this, you need to take a look at yourself. If you need to come home every night and have a drink, and you might think that you're just drinking a couple of glasses of wine or whatever, and drinking half a bottle of wine, you've got to do that every night of the week, you have a problem.
Yeah. I stopped drinking. Well, I still stopped drinking. I'll have a drink on a weekend. In the summer, it's just nice to have one with some food. But I'd only really have it on a weekend. Yeah. But I stopped drinking when I started that RP program, because during lockdown, so the first month of lockdown, I was like, oh, do I have to go to work tomorrow? I'll have a drink. And then it got to be like, well, I'm not doing anything during the day. I'll have a drink. And it got to a point where I woke up in the morning, I was making James's breakfast. I was like, oh, I might as well have a drink. What the fuck are you doing, Cally? Yeah. Having a drink at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
This is where it can, you know, alcoholism, right? Before you know it, can actually take control of what you're doing. And before you know it, it's a need, as opposed to it just being like a desirable thing for you to do on the off chance. You think, oh, I'll just have I might just have a couple of drinks. Or I might just go out. I might decide to go out in a couple of weeks, absolutely lose my biscuit, and I go, you know what, I'm done with that now.
Oh, it's the next morning though. I can't remember. So I stopped drinking for about, it must have been about at least 4 months strict, when I was trying to be really strict on it. And then we went out to the Pig in Studland, and we'd walked there. It was a really hot day. So James was like, do you want a glass of wine? Okay, might as well share a bottle. I haven't drank for ages. Let's enjoy a nice bottle of wine. I was absolutely steaming.
You're a lightweight.
Because I hadn't drank. Felt awful the next day. And I'm just trying to think if I've got in that. I don't think I've got drunk where I'm then feeling like shit the next day since then. I can't bother.
Not interested.
No.
And now, we were talking about it before, weren't we? If we go out, I'd rather enjoy, I think I was talking to my friend Zara, I'd rather enjoy a really nice drink and have one, like say for example, like a really nice whiskey, and just have one, and then go, do you know what, I'm done. I think I've got to that point.
I don't see the point in just having one. I mean, if I have one,
oh God, you're like James.
Then I'm in. I'm in.
Woohoo! Big summer blowout.
If it's and don't just give me a little shitty shot of vodka. I need like a half pint. That's what I need. So, yeah,
I don't like vodka. I've got some vodka you can have.
Oh, I'll take it. I like a bit.
I
of
want the
vodka.
bottle back though.
What is it?
It's one of those Crystal Head. Oh. So it is nice, but I'm not really that bothered by vodka.
But what vodka is it?
Crystal Head vodka.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's a brand.
Oh, is it?
But it comes in like that
oh, nice.
You know, the one that looks like a skull.
Like a skull.
Yeah. My mum bought.
Is it as good as Grey Goose?
It's up there because it's like that triple distilled stuff. Yeah.
Grey Goose.
Yeah, James likes Grey Goose.
Yeah, because you don't get a hangover with that. You don't get a hangover with that.
Interesting.
I do actually like Zabrowska with vodka.
Right.
That's like Polish. Is it Polish?
I like vodka and grapefruit.
Yeah, you said that at 1812, didn't you?
But then I quite like vodka on the rocks, which is a bit ironic because my ex-husband was addicted to it. But I didn't drink for 15 years. I didn't take any drugs for 15 years. Didn't do anything.
Was that because you was competing?
I was competing, but one of us had to stay sober.
Oh, yeah.
One of us had to stay clean. How can I preach to him about improving his life if I'm doing it myself? You know? So...
Also, I suppose there's an element of like, if you can control that, if anything happens, you can get out of the situation. Yeah.
But as far as the drug use goes, I think that they should, number one, decriminalise it.
Yeah.
I think that if they decriminalised it and actually made it legal...
Think how much tax they could charge.
And then it would be clean.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the people on this spice shit? Have you seen them?
No, what's that?
Do you know what? I don't actually know what spice is, but let's Google it. But they turn literally into zombies. I was down...
What, more than methamphetamine?
Let me tell you something, what happens to people when they take spice.
What's been happening down in Asda?
Right.
This week.
Do you know what, right? I was in there the other day, it was all kicking off when I was walking out. I thought I need to message Cally because it's going
Oh, is that
off.
when you messaged me? Did you message me and you said, oh, I'm in Asda?
Probably. Probably, yeah, but it was starting to kick off. Yeah.
Oh, on that note, James...
Spice drug zombie. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, there's a little film here. Okay, so it turns literally... It does turn people into...
Oh, did you show me this before, or did James show me this?
No, hang on. Oh, they put like soundtracks to it. I mean, it's a bit naughty.
Oh, he's like a zombie, isn't he?
That's what happens.
It could be an extra on Shaun of the Dead.
I mean, it is pretty bad. So, what...
So if the listeners are wondering what we're watching, I'll link the video in the show notes. But this guy's basically stood and he looks like an extra out of Shaun of the Dead movie, or the Thriller, Michael Jackson Thriller video.
Terrible. Yeah, really terrible.
Talking about Asda, I know it's quite prevalent with the current economic state. James sent me, because I like to go to Lidl and Aldi, and he always says it's like Soviet Union.
It is
like a Soviet Union.
I don't like
supermarket because he went. There's never anything there that you fucking want.
No,
so anyway,
it's true.
So he sent me this picture, and it says price of a basket of 49 items, and then Aldi and Lidl are winning. So the average is £76.24, with Waitrose being £102.20.
Yeah, really expensive.
But then the price of a trolley of 153 items, they can't use Lidl or Aldi because they didn't have, what does he say? They didn't have most of the large items for a large food shop in stock. So Asda actually wins at an average of £337.50 a trolley, with Sainsbury's coming in just over £360, Waitrose £386. So Asda is the place to go, although, as we know...
like your fucking stats. I mean, I've already switched off.
How rude.
But as we know, Janine tells us all the stories that happens in Asda, so maybe go to the one at Castle Point.
Get the one at Castle Point. Well, I was down the other day, and I parked in the downstairs car park for whatever reason, and there was a girl there, and I clocked her, and I thought, she was just, like, stood motionless, like that dude. And then all of a sudden they have like these twitches, and then she moves a little bit more, and I mean, this is what it says it is, right? Synthetic cannabinoids are lab-made drugs. Spice is a nickname for a substance containing one or more synthetic cannabinoids. It's just...
So it's basically, is it like cannabinoids
synthetic.
that's been made in a lab?
It's synthetic, however, they are much more harmful and unpredictable than cannabis.
And THC.
It
So,
sends
do you know
people
when-
around the twist.
You know when people go on about the gummies and things like that, when someone said with THC and without THC,
Right.
What's THC? I'm being a retard now.
Right, but THC...
Is that the natural substance that's in cannabis?
Yes, it is. It's the...
That's the hallucinogenic
yes.
part, right?
And if you... I don't like it. It doesn't agree with me. Hang on.
But that's because you took it on your own. You need to take it with other people.
Well,
I mean,
no,
again,
would
we
have
are
lost...
not medically trained doctors or prescribers. So whatever we're saying,
Right.
That
So
listen
let's retract on that story. I used to smoke a lot of weed in my teenage years, like I think a lot of us did do, right? And it was a lot of solids around that time.
Like resin.
Resin, yeah. And you'd get a bit mongy, you couldn't talk, blah blah, whatever.
you
right?
get the giggles.
Get the giggles, munchies, all of that, right? But now the skunk is so strong that the actual weed itself has got this THC in it, and the THC it just doesn't agree with me. So when I was in America and I met Dickface,
That's not my name. That's not my name.
one of the Dickfaces.
That's not my name. That's not my name.
He used to smoke a lot of skunk, and I started smoking that, and I mean, I'd literally be talking like this, or I'd be sat in the corner of a room just not wanting to conversate with anybody. I couldn't formulate a sentence, so I thought it just doesn't agree with me, so I stopped smoking it. Right, let's move forward 30 years. I was struggling with my sleep a little bit a year or so ago, so I was looking for stuff to kind of help me sleep, and I was taking CBD, and I thought maybe I could have a smoke, and have a smoke. And my mate said to me, look, I'll do you a joint. Okay, fine. I said, look, I don't want any tobacco. Okay.
And what did you mix it with then?
Nothing. I just did a straight blunt. Just a straight blunt. Like, so I sat at home on my own and I had a couple of puffs just before bedtime. I was reading a book. I was very excited about the whole situation. So I had a couple of tokes, just two, nothing hectic. And then within seconds, I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my legs. And he was telling me it was anti-anxiety. Listen, anything you've got going on in your head that you're struggling with, that you think that you might go out and do something fucking stupid, it was all at the forefront and I was swimming around in it. And I didn't like it. I messaged him and I was like, oh, I'm not having a good time. And I was like, right, what do I do? What do I do? So I put my music on. I put Michael Uwanuku, whatever his name is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I put him on. He's like I would say soft rock. It's not really soul. He's just a bit alternative. Anyway, right. Put him on and then laid in the fetal position until it passed.
Oh God, that's such a sorry state of affairs. But like, at least you're all right now.
Yeah, I'm all right. I never want to do that again.
Laid in the fetal position.
I never ever want to take THC again. THC does not agree with me. So I've just looked it up. So it's very small writing. I didn't bring my pen. It's the principal psychoactive constituent of cannabis, and one of at least 113 total cannabinoids identified on the plant.
We've got natural cannabinoids in our brain as well, though. That's why they say that it can help with mental health problems, because it's, you know.
Well, I don't want to ever take THC again.
So then how do you react to like magic mushrooms then? And,
I don't want to do that either.
See, the times I have used it, I've been in a safe space and I just get all kind of like... I get all relaxed. It's like, right, do you know when you do contract relax exercises? If you don't know what that is, it's called like proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, right, where you kind of contract the muscle and then let go. So if you make a fist, listeners, and then let go, it's like...
you do it in yoga.
Yeah.
You squeeze everything and then you let it go.
That's how I felt when I'd taken truffles.
For me,
and I just felt so chill.
For me,
and then giggled.
With any of that kind of stuff, right, especially when it's got it can take you on a little bit of a journey with your mind. I think if you've had any kind of trauma in your life,
Yeah.
I'm just not, you know what, I'm in a place where I'm dealing with the trauma slowly but surely in myself. I don't need
You
to
don't
go.
need that to be brought up.
No, I don't need to go down any dark. I'd rather take MDMA and just tell everybody I love them all night long and cuddle.
Oh, I just got that Lionel Richie song in my head. All night long. Yeah, no. So I've taken truffles over in the Netherlands. So when you go and buy them, you go to a smart shop, and this is why I think they should be legalised over in this country, because you go and talk to someone, they go, what kind of trip do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to overemphasize the music aspect? Do you want to overemphasize the the visuals? Do you just want to feel relaxed? Whatever. And you kind of tell them, and they go, have you done it before? Yes, no. If you haven't done it before, they'll guide you. Okay, maybe take this and make sure you're in this scenario, and and if you've taken it before, they'll be like, okay, well, if you take this much, this will happen. If you take, whatever. So actually, I think that's better, because you're not kind of just taking it.
Well,
you're not
getting it from your mate Bob,
Yeah.
who got it from his mate Gary, who got it from his mate who lives in a field somewhere, who doesn't really know what he's doing.
Yeah. And so then when I have taken it, I've had a really nice positive experience. But also, they kind of go, okay, make sure that you're in a good space.
No, that's right.
Because if you, like you said, if you're in a bad space or you have a negative outlook on the situation, chances are...
Or you've had any trauma in your life, you will end up down some very dark tunnels, and it's not nice.
No.
It's not good.
You're going to be there for a couple of hours.
You're going to be there for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what I realise now, because obviously they use MDMA now in PTSD.
Yeah.
So I think that...
Under the guidance of a psychiatrist.
Yes, under the guidance of a psychiatrist. But I think a lot of us back in the 90s that were self-medicating with MDMA, a lot of us were just fighting our own battles, did come from a lot of trauma, that were seeking something just to escape, that we were all doing it and actually, without even realising, healing ourselves through it.
Yeah.
So I think there is a lot of stigma associated around it. And I think that if they did legalise it, that it would just clean it up. I think it would get rid of a lot of the criminality on the streets. It would get rid of a lot of the gang mentality. The kids on the estates, they wouldn't feel that they would have to fall into that in order to make the money to as a quick fix to get out of the shithole that they're in.
Yeah.
It could bring a lot. It could bring a lot. Whilst they're spending all this, you think of the millions and millions that they spend on policing and finding these drug dealers and breaking down fucking drug whatever, the money that they could be making, the factories that they could put together, the work, the employment that they could, there's a lot of positive to it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting because I agree with what you're saying, but it'd be interesting to speak to someone, if anyone's out there, who has a different opinion, because they've got like the negative effects of what it would happen.
Well, let's look at Portugal decriminalised drugs, and they said that their criminality has gone down tenfold. You think of Amsterdam. Whilst Amsterdam, I think, is decriminalised, I think it's still illegal for the higher class A's, but they kind of turn a blind eye to it. But if you've never been to Amsterdam and you go to Amsterdam, it is one of the freest and safest cities that I have been to on my travels.
Saying that though, last time James and I went, this was pre-COVID, and a new government had come into power. I think it's the Green Party or whatever, and they'd almost so do you know how where you sit outside on an evening and have a drink, and it's very kind of European. Everywhere was kind of going, okay, you need to come inside now, and it became it was all a bit just really different, not as free and fun-loving as it used to be, if you know what I mean. There was no more of this, you can't drink on the streets. They're trying to clean it up, but I don't think that's the way to go with...
Not in Amsterdam. No. But even so, it's still very much a like anything type. You could walk down the road in your spankly thong and have your tits hanging out everywhere. Nobody'd batting an eyelid.
I don't know.
So it says Portugal decriminalised use, possession of all drugs in a way that moves the focus from criminal punishment to treatment. Drugs are not freely available and they cannot legally be sold. If you're caught with a possession quantity of drugs, there are still civil consequences. But they have kind of, you think of the people that are in prison, that are addicts, that are being treated as criminals, when really what they need is treatment.
Help, yeah. Because they're probably, I mean, I don't know the prison situation only from TV programs, but I'm guessing that if you want something in prison, you can get it.
Anything you want. Anything you want. But I think they've got a massive spice problem in there. I think they've got a massive problem with drugs in general, to be honest. But
I mean, I'm just speculating because I have no actual evidence. Only from Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty, Line of Duty. Is it Line of Duty? Where they,
I don't know, I've not watched that, but Call of Duty is the bloody...
Never played it.
No.
I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
Line of Duty.
Well, you've got to think that most of the people that are in that position where they are using hard drugs are escaping. They're escaping whatever trauma that whatever life they've been subjected to, the neglect.
Trying to numb something, aren't
they? And then they will do anything in order to get that fix. And so they'll rob and, do what they need to do. When I was working in the hotel with the homeless and rough sleepers, I think I've told you that before, that the majority of them were drug addicts. And it was really sad to watch, but most of them, whilst the government see the methadone as a way of being able to have that as a platform to
rehabilitate them.
It doesn't, because let me tell you something, they're taking the methadone and the heroin on top. They're taking all of it.
Yeah.
Get in my belly!
It's just sad. It was really sad. Yeah, there was one girl in there. She was doing $2,000 a week. I mean, her body was covered in
Where's she getting this $2,000?
I don't know. Whilst they can't work because they can't hold down a job, the majority of them are on benefits. There was one woman in there that was on £1,600 a month benefits. I mean, she did have cancer and she was getting treatment for it. So they know how to work every single part of that system. Mm. They know what to do to get their money.
I suppose you'd have to figure it out, wouldn't you?
So when you see them on the street and they're asking for money, they're not asking for money because they're hungry. They're asking for money to subsidise their drug use.
Yeah.
That's what they're asking money for.
Yeah, because if you said, I'll go in and buy you something, they're not that bothered then. Because I've got dietary needs. If you're hungry, you won't got dietary needs.
Yeah, but they're not asking for money for food.
No.
Because the majority of them, they all get their food for free.
Oh.
I did not know that.
They get handouts from the council. Used to get weekly delivery of their shopping and they'd have everything they need in it for free.
Can they help me out?
Do you know what I mean? So it did, working in the hotel kind of just give me a different an eye opener to ultimately what is available for them, and then how the system really is just letting them down. But they've got to want help to get out of that, and there isn't really. You can put them into rehabilitation, which we know Boscombe has got the highest amount of rehabilitation centres in an area, anywhere in the South Coast, maybe in Britain. I don't know. I could be talking off the top of my head of that.
But someone has said that to me before.
So, how many of them?
Anyway.
How many of them do you think actually make it through rehabilitation and then don't,
go back?
Yeah, I was going to say reoffend, but that's not right.
Yeah.
But
relapse.
Relapse. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, relapse. Because what they do, they go into rehabilitation. I think they do have dry houses and stuff like that. But you've got to just want it. And most of them don't know how to live in society.
That's the same with anything, though, isn't it? That's the same with anything. If you want it, you've got to commit to it. Same with, like, if you want to get fit, if you want to lose weight.
I've got a mate who was an addict for 23 years. and she is into her 50s now. I think she got clean in her late 40s. And she's the strongest person I know. Do you know the will and the strength that it takes to do that?
Stop it, yeah.
After 23 years. I think she's amazing.
But also, it's not even just stopping taking the drugs. It's like you said, re-establishing
Learning
yourself
to live again.
Yeah.
Learning to live under a different rule set.
Re-establishing yourself in society.
Yeah.
Holding down a job, like getting a job, like getting somewhere to live so that you can,
paying bills,
getting someone to sort of trust that you're not going to sort of relapse.
All of that.
So fair play to whoever gave her the job and things like that. Fair play to her showing.
Well, just fair play to her.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know, I've said that to her. You are the strongest person I know. Because it takes a sheer will and determination to want to come out of that.
But it just shows if you want it, you can do it.
You can, but it has to come from within. But you know, but I think some people, unfortunately, what we have got is addictive personalities. And people that have got addictive personalities, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's drugs, it's food, it's alcohol, it's training, whatever it is.
Buying stuff.
Yeah, they will be addicted to whatever it is that they get obsessed about. So, you know, there will be people that will disagree with me about, you know, not making the drugs legal. But,
well, what do you reckon the argument for not making them legal would be? What do you think people would say? I guess the people who would say, I don't agree with legalising them would have never maybe tried it, either out of fear of what would happen, or because they've got, like, because like I know for a fact that if my mum and dad listen to this now, they'll probably be disappointed that I've tried drugs, right? Even though, whenever I go back home, oh, should we go out for a drink? Oh, I don't really want to drink. Oh, fucking hell, what's the point in going out if you're not going to drink? Hang on a minute, so you'll buy me an alcoholic drink, but you won't partake. Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's illegal.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Or do a magic mushroom with me.
Yeah.
Because it'd be quite funny to see mum and dad on magic mushrooms,
Okay,
right?
my mum wouldn't be able to handle it. She's already gone after two glasses of wine. Oh, Cal. Oh. Sorry, Mum, but it's true. Dad, don't give me another 4 out of 5 rating.
Yeah.
Because you've done that already.
I think that there's people assume if you smoke a joint that you're going to end up a heroin addict. Don't they? If you're smoking a joint, you're going to be a heroin addict.
Oh, it's a
true,
downward
isn't it?
spiral, isn't it?
Definitely. So I think that people honestly think that that's the journey for you, but it's not. It's not. And people, again, let's go back to alcohol. If you come in at the week, let's say you go into work. Oh, what were you up to last night? Oh, I'm hanging today. What were you doing last night? Well, I took a lot of ecstasy. Oh my God, what were you doing? Right, let's change the scenario. What were you doing last night? Oh, I was doing shots and drinking vodka and losing a part. Oh, you party animal.
What are you like?
Ooh. You know. So what's the difference?
Well, it's
What's
because then
the
you
difference?
get that sensationalised. So I wasn't around for the Hacienda. Oh, I was, but I was younger. But then you watch all these.
I mean, you could have only been about, like, you're 15 years younger than me. You must have been about 4.
Yeah, I know, but so you watch, or James has spoken about it, or you watch these films or these TV programs or whatever, and you're like, oh, fucking, I bet that was really good fun. But then you get this sensationalised, like, news report or whatever. Oh, this girl took ecstasy and died. Right.
Okay.
But what else has she taken?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah. No, you don't know.
And also,
but
you don't know what was in that drug that she
that's
took.
right. Okay,
And that's
so
the risk, isn't it? And
that
if
is the risk.
If we legalised it, then you would know.
Yeah, it would be clean.
Yeah.
It would be clean, and we'd go back to the 90s where we were doing disco biscuits, and it was amazing. It would last all night. The stuff that you do now, you'd have to end up taking 20. I think when I did Dodge's podcast, he was talking about doing half a pill. I was like, half? I said that to my brother. My brother said half. At least 10. But my brother's a bit of a... He's much calmer these days. He's got his head together, and I'm really proud of him. But that boy has got a constitution of a rhino. I mean, us two going out together was always a bad ingredient. I mean, I can handle my shit, but he would always take it to another level, and I'd end up spasticated in some corner on a chair, fucking gurning and dribbling out my mouth. And he'd be on the dance floor and everybody'd be laughing at me, and I'd think, oh, you fucking bastard. But he went off to India, and they were doing, you can get what's called meow meow, which is a synthetic cocaine, which is it's like really cheap. But again, synthetic stuff. When he came back, he told me the same story, one after the other, 3 times. I said, what the fuck is wrong with your brain? Why have you told me that 3 times? What have you been taking? Anyway, I said, you need to stop with that shit, because you're not going to have any brain cells left.
Was that recently? I remember you saying not recently, but like maybe I spoke to you a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was probably a good 8 years ago when he first went
no,
out there. No. So he doesn't do that anymore.
I just thought about this.
Go on.
You know when we joked and said, oh, why don't we just casually take some drugs while we do the podcast?
Oh.
We didn't.
No.
No, because I have to be in Poole because I'm going to watch Prima.
Oh, that's right. What time have you got to be there?
8.
Okay.
We've got time.
Okay.
But yeah, so Prima Facie.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
You're going to love that.
Alison's going to come and watch it.
Yeah, you'll love it. But
will
anyway,
James like it?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
It's really amazing. It's a really amazing play. I cried at the end of it.
I'll talk about it. Talking about crying today, I went to see one of my little athletes. She's a ballerina, and I went to watch her lesson so I can understand what she needs to work on.
Yeah.
They're definitely premenstrual, right? Because this music came on, she started dancing to it.
You stopped crying? You got really emotional?
I was very close to crying. I got really emotional. So I had to check myself. I'm like, stop fucking crying, Connie. You can't be crying.
Yeah.
You're the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah. Toughen yourself up.
Yeah, anyway.
So yeah, those fuckers that spike your drinks, that annoys me.
I don't know if they did.
No, but
I
even
don't know
so,
if it was just alcohol.
but
But
it's not about you.
But
But I mean, there was a spate of them actually taking out like injectables and injecting girls. I mean, what is that all about?
no one's bothered about doing that to me now.
No, me neither. I'm pretty invisible these days. But yeah, that's a little bit frightening. Like the GHB and stuff like that is a little bit frightening as well.
What's GHB?
GHB, it's liquid. On the dance scene back in the 90s, they used to call it liquid ecstasy. Now,
right.
my
Is
brother.
that the one that they drop into the drink?
Yeah, GHB drug. So it's gamma hydroxybutyric acid is a naturally occurring neurotransmitter and a psychoactive drug. So I know that you used to be able to buy it over the counter, because I know that there were bodybuilders that used to do it to help them get a deeper sleep, so it would aid them in their, muscle recovery, maybe growth. But it was big on the dance scene. But like, you can't like judge when you're shit-faced. You're not paying attention to quantity. So these girls and guys were taking it and just being completely incapacitated, like to the point of shitting themselves, and just awful. But obviously they use it. These guys use it to
try and relax,
date rape girls, which is very strange. That's like a
power thing.
It's a power thing, isn't it? But why would you not want to have somebody involved with you? Weird.
I don't know.
Why would you want somebody? I mean, you might as well just be fucking dead people. Like is that necrophilia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Necrophilia. I think of Ted Bundy. I mean, what a
Jimmy Savile.
I mean, Jimmy Savile. Ugh, awful human beings. Well, they're not human beings, are they? Monstrous people. So I don't. Yeah. So GHB. So they use that. My brother ended up ODing on that stuff. So yeah, GHB, also known as date rape drug, is a central nervous system depressant often placed in alcoholic beverages. So
yeah, I mean, we're getting on to another subject, but why would you want someone who's like, oh?
Well, that's what I mean. Where's the fun in that? But then it is about control. It is about power, isn't it? if you are not in a position where you can say no or fight back, or they've ultimately got full control of that. Very strange. So, yeah, I don't think you're ever going to stop that, though, are you, with guys? I mean, there are gay men. I've watched.
What's that guy in Manchester who was like
Getting gay men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a BBC programme. Documentary.
That was recently, wasn't it? But also, I mean, we're saying that men do it to women, but you know, there'll be women out there that do it to men. There will be. You can't just kind of say it's men.
You think that there are women out there date raping men?
There'll be some where they're doing it for control.
Hang on a minute. Do women date rape men?
You can't say that all women are perfect because we're not.
No, but I mean,
take them back to the house, strap them up like Kathy Burke on Misery, and then break their legs.
Stop it. Right.
I'm just trying to give the opposite end of the spectrum.
All right.
Because
So
we don't want to offend men.
But 2016. Right. So this is all right. 2021. Can a woman rape a man? The short answer is probably, because the maximum sentence for rape is life. Okay. Well, that doesn't answer it.
But they don't call it rape, do they? Call it sexual abuse, because apparently women can't officially rape men legally. They can't legally rape men because there's no penetration.
Unless they shove it up their asses. I don't know. That would be the only alternative, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So they call it sexual abuse.
I would argue that I can't imagine there's too many, because women don't have that. It's just not part of their, agenda when they're out.
Listen,
I'm
not for it, but I'm guessing there is something out there that
maybe
women do.
I know that you like to sit on the fence a little bit,
or maybe
give a more liberal, point of view. But I would find it very difficult to find any woman that would go, you know what my objective is tonight is I'm going to go out, I'm going to spike a guy, and then I'm going to... I mean...
but the men are not going to say that, are they?
Not only they would... Ultimately, men are stronger than women. So men are in that position where they are able to control that situation, because they can pick the woman up, they can carry him home, blah, 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 chuck him in the taxi, all of that. You try picking up most of these guys, they're fucking lumps. How are you going to carry him out? It ain't happening, is it?
Follow Janine's strength training program.
That's right. That's right.
Obviously, we don't advocate women date raping men.
I think a man would probably want you to do it.
Yeah, but then also you got an element of they won't be able to. What would be the point? Because they wouldn't be able to get it up, would they? They
wouldn't be able to get it up. This is true. So you definitely have to shove out their arseholes.
So what would be the benefit? You just have this lump lying somewhere.
Yeah.
You could just do that normally.
Yeah. Get your rabbit out.
Or you trace his dog.
Oh, you trace his dog.
Tell you what, listeners, I was recommended that by another listener, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to purchase this. Really good.
Look it up, people. And it's not a dog place either.
It's not a dog called Tracy. Janine just kept sending me pictures of dogs. I'm like, no, that's not it.
I was doing it on purpose.
I know you were.
Yeah. So anyway, back to recreational drug use.
How did we get onto that? Oh yeah, got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I think anyway.
We should do. So there was a YouTube channel, and they were Dutch, obviously, and there'd be two of them, and one would take a drug for research, and the other one would be completely
observant.
And they'd take him to places. I can't remember if she did like MDMA or something. They took her to this like.
Oh, it's boring on your own.
No. He took her to like an art show or something like that.
It's just boring. You take MDMA, you want to be out in the music, and you either want to be in a club with music that you enjoy, or you want to be at home with a partner who's going to have lots of sex with you.
Sex.
That's it. Nothing in between.
All right then.
Right, you don't want to be in a fucking art show on MDMA. What a waste.
Listeners, Don't do it.
Absolute waste.
Comprende?
Oh, no, on your own as well. No.
Why would you do that? Just be like rocking in a corner, listening to power ballads.
It was, well, you just wouldn't enjoy the high. It'd be boring. Smoke weed or do your magic mushrooms. That's different. That would be an enjoyable journey if you didn't have too much trauma going on and you were just floating around, maybe like the tiniest of microdose, and then just sit in an art gallery and, you know, become one with the pictures.
Well, anyway,
That's different.
they do it for research.
Okay.
So that's just what I was trying to say. We
All
can do
right.
it for research as an episode. But
All right, well, you can take the mushrooms. All right.
no, I'm 100%
Shut the fuck up.
innocent.
You are not. At all. At
Oh,
all.
I'm so tired today.
I am starving. My stomach is actually eating
I am
itself.
Hank Marvin. What are you going to have?
Well, I've got a little snacky snooky in my car that I need to, when I drive home like a maniac, need to sit and eat that immediately. And then I'll probably have a salad of some sorts. I like my salads. I like to get my greens in. I like to get the colours of the rainbow in.
Ooh, we have decided, well, I say we was at the Dorchester County Fair on Saturday.
Is this going to be exciting?
Not really.
Okay.
We've just started, I'm going to try out the Riverford. In fact, saying that, they should have arrived today.
Yeah.
The Riverford
I used to
organic
do them.
boxes.
I used to do
I was
them.
going to try them out for a bit and see
Yeah,
what they're
do
like.
it.
Just because I always buy the same veg.
Yeah.
And I just want to be...
A little bit more adventurous with seasonal stuff.
Yeah.
Right, so I think we're done with the recreational drug talk, aren't we?
For today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that it would be nice to get some input from people.
Yeah, from the pro
Please.
and...
Can you do that? Can anybody just
pro
message
and
us
negative
on,
camp.
Yeah, just message us on Instagram. Tell us what you think. And if you want to come out partying, although I'm not always up for it these days.
Oh, it's a bit of a Debbie Downer.
I know, but I like my training. I like my life. If I'm
It
going to
does
do it,
massively affect, like,
Yeah.
even just alcohol.
Yeah.
It really, if I drink on Saturday,
Yeah.
I don't feel good enough in my training until
Yeah.
at least Thursday.
Yeah,
Because you're just knackered.
You are knackered. So if I'm going to do that, it has to be like a proper event, like a really good event.
Ooh, what's happening on the? Is it 30th of September, 1st of October?
My birthday.
Yeah.
We're talking. Actually, I've got to message everybody tonight to tell them what time they need to turn up.
What am I doing? I'm definitely doing that. Obvs. Because someone else said that their birthday party's on that day. I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm already going to like the party of the century.
Oh look, I don't want anybody to get too excited by it.
I'm
'cause,
super excited.
Okay, now.
I've got my Royal Yacht Association VHF course the next day.
Oh God! After the party. Oh, good luck with that. Jeez.
It's not the exam, just the course.
I know. Well, even so.
Be all right.
Shall I tell you a funny story?
Go on.
So.
Always want a funny story from Janine,
Right.
even if we have to edit it out because it's too long. Go on.
So I, at 21, was trying to find my way in life, and I wasn't doing a very good job. And I signed up to do a BTEC in tourism and leisure at college in Bournemouth. I thought it was going to be sport related. It was not sport related. It was about being a manager in a sports centre, and I didn't want to do that. But anyway, my first day at college, I was at my friend's party the night before, and I said, look, I've got to start college tomorrow, and I'm just staying for one. Well,
That's the worst thing you can say.
I was the last one to leave. I was completely off my tits on ecstasy. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was starting college at 9.
So this is like you hadn't even been there yet.
Oh no, I went off my tits.
No, but I mean that was your first.
Yeah. I turned up in my big fluffy fucking furry jacket.
Ooh, is that the one you got on Instagram with your bucket hat?
No, that was my fluffy bra. No, I didn't. I had this jumper dress that wasn't really a jumper dress and my tights on. I think I probably had, I was signing sheets of paper. I had no idea what name I was putting down. I had no fucking clue what was going on. They must have known I was completely off my tits. They must have known. Fucking hell. I was such a case back then.
Did you finish that course?
No, I fucking didn't. It was horrible. I hated it.
Oh, just think, sliding doors, if you hadn't have gone to that party and you'd have finished the course, you could be gym manager at West Hants.
No, it would never have happened.
Step over, Mark Daly.
I tell you what happened. I ended up getting a job at the Bic, and then me and my mate used to sit there before we go to work, and we would take lots of base and have a couple of joints and drink lots of wine, and then go and stand behind the bar and serve people.
What's base for people who are innocent like me?
Speed,
Ah, right.
but really fucking strong.
How was you even working?
I don't know. Fucking me and my mate, we used to do fucking bong hits, and then we'd go and work in the pavilion, and they had like this little snug bar. The tills didn't add anything up. I just used to make it up with the pricing of the drinks. I couldn't figure anything out, and then we'd sit behind there. Like, the pair of us didn't know what we were doing. We would turn up, and the manager would go, "You two, get the fuck out the back." Because he thought we were in such a mess. Very funny. Yeah, I did that a lot back then. I used to work Bump and Hustle at the Bic, completely off my tits on ecstasy.
What's that?
Bump and Hustle, it's a dance night. Yeah, turn up with my braids. I used to have my double braids. I'd get a couple of little red bows in the bottom of my braids. I'd have my tight trousers on, and off
What for tips?
Yeah, I don't think I got a lot of tips, to be honest. I was just off my tits. So, yeah, I was very, very naughty. Very naughty.
Do you think, see, obviously I wasn't not naughty like that, but like when I was younger, we did stuff that I just don't think kids do these days.
I think kids are doing a lot more than you think.
Maybe it's just
I think kids are doing a lot more than you think these days.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I wouldn't want to be
they're all fucking sending naked pictures to each other. I mean,
I wouldn't
Jesus
want to be a
Christ.
kid now, though, would you?
Fuck.
Not at
And I
all.
would definitely be one of those girls that, like, when I first left the husband, right, and I met this guy, my mate said to me, "Don't send pictures." I went, "It's too late for that." Like I give a shit about, and I can't not say it's not me because I'm covered in tattoos. So I could say it's not me, and they'd go, "But that's your ass because it's got a fucking massive butterfly on it," you know?
Oh, that is one thing I think we've chatted about this before, but we're talking about OnlyFans. So
Right.
someone was telling me about OnlyFans and how much money they make. And I am no oil painting, but my body's all right. I train really hard.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I'm not sure how much money I would make on OnlyFans. So, like, I talked to my husband and we're quite open. I'm like, what do you think? And he went, well, you probably make quite a lot. He went, but it'd be pretty fucking obvious who you are. And I went, he went, because of your tattoos. I'm like, oh, yeah. He went, and do you know what? For your, your profession, I don't think a lot of your clients would be happy knowing that their therapist is on fucking OnlyFans. I'm like, yeah, good point. So I didn't do it.
No.
So stop searching for me, everybody.
Yeah. Well, the pictures are out there. I don't care. I honestly don't care now. You want to put naked pictures out of me? I'm 50 years old. I mean, I fucking love it. I'll be like, look at me.
That is true. Like some pictures from when I was younger.
Do you
I'd
know
like
what
to
I mean?
compare what my body. I think my body's better now. I would say my body's better than it was when I was in my mid-20s. If any listeners are out there who've got pictures of me in my mid-20s, let me know.
That you were secretly taking. Oh, funny. So
And that's the end of that.
And
And
that's
I
the
think
end of
that's
that.
the end of another
Yeah, I think
full-on
so.
episode. Oh, I wonder what we'll call this one. I've been quite nifty with some of my titles, haven't I?
No, yeah.
As
Right.
always, follow us on Instagram.
Send your messages in.
Email us if you want.
Yeah.
leavenothingout@gmail.com. Yeah. Episode 11.
Yeah, I need to go and eat, man. My
I know I
stomach.
need to eat. I need to go get ready to go watch Prima Facie at the Lighthouse in
Yeah.
Poole. Ooh, I wanted to say, who did I want to say thank you to? Fucking hell. Oh, went on a sailing course with the Water Sports Academy in Sandbanks Harbour. Really recommend them. I loved it. Great weekend.
Nice.
And it wasn't expensive.
Okay.
I did get smashed in the face by the boom and I've got a really bad bruise on my shin. But anyway.
Right.
Right.
Laters.
All right, see you later. We're going for food. Bye.
Oh.
Get ready.
Oi. Leave nothing out.
If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Don't threaten me. You don't scare me.
Fun and excitement.
And when you're headed down,
Leave nothing out.